Welcome to Pathways. This is a feature from Power Through Partnership, the legacy magazine of the Technical Assistance Program for Sustainable Energy in the Caribbean, TAPSEC. In each segment, you will hear from one of our region's young professionals. Each one of them started out as an intern, and now they help drive the transition forward as professionals in CARICOM's energy sector. This is the future of energy.
My name is Sapphire. So I am currently working as a Sustainable Energy Junior Engineer at the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy. Before the Regional Energy Apprenticeship Program, I was completing my Master's in Environmental Change and Management from the University of Oxford. I heard about the internship from a family member who saw the job advertisement and sent it to me. I decided to apply, I think, for a number of reasons. I had an interest in sustainable energy beforehand, and I really wanted to be able to apply the things I had learned in school to the Caribbean context and to just build that expertise and to be able to contribute. I think for one, at the core behind sustainable energy as an engineer is the science of it, and I've always been drawn to science and applying scientific principles to solve real life problems and our needs as a society. And then I think beyond that, gaining the more technical expertise and observing the problems that we face. So for example, in the Caribbean region, how we're threatened by climate change and the dire need that we have for climate resilience and climate compatible growth. So I was hoping to apply the things I would have learned during my master's, even my undergrad, in a practical setting, to gain experience in a practical context, particularly the Caribbean context, and to just engage with the regional organization. I think the security is so diverse that there are a lot of things that I was able to kind of wet my door. I learned quite a bit about providing technical assistance to renewable energy and energy efficiency projects. I was also able to work with other teams, for example, on energy access program that the SICRI has, as well as an emergency response program. So those were pretty interesting. I think one of the other things that stood out for me that I didn't expect to learn about was gender. So my supervisor is the lead of the gender unit, so I was able to assist her in mainstreaming gender within the organization, as well as some of the work that the center is doing outside of the institution itself, in helping other organizations and countries ensure that they mainstream gender. I was involved quite a bit in planning different events. Some of the main things, some of my main day-to-day tasks also did things such as procurement, a lot of writing, knowledge products, reports, concept notes. So on a day-to-day basis, it was pretty varied. But I would say that some of my main tasks would have been kind of overseeing the application portal for the project preparation facility, so fielding. I think apart from that, one of the things that has stood out to me in my experience is just the people that I got the opportunity to work with at the SICRI. Very capable, very kind people. There's a very strong team spirit at the center that really inspired me. A lot of professionals who I definitely look up to and have encouraged me and mentored me. I think one particular challenge that I faced was time management. I think as a small organization, there is always a lot going on at the SICRI, so there's always too much to do. So, just learning how to manage your time, how to prioritize tasks, how to just navigate that whole environment to ensure that you're doing your core work, but you're also able to contribute to other things that are happening. I was very excited and I was very happy. I definitely wanted to stay on. I wanted to continue the validation period. So I was very much anxious to be on the full authorization team and get to see projects actually supported and implemented. I think logistically it was pretty smooth in that I was, familiar with the organizational structure. I was familiar with my department. I was still working with the same people, but I did have, more responsibilities, and that was welcomed. Has been very welcomed for me. I was ready to step up. So my internship was 10 months, and now I have been with the center. I think it's about 9 months now, so in all about a year and a half. Generally, I would say the sustainable energy field is definitely one that young people should get into, and I think sometimes it might not be so clear how broad it is. You don't need to be an engineer. There's communication, there's IT, there's finance, there's coding, there's the harder science to it, physics. So there's so many aspects. There's project management. There's so many aspects to, and I think that when you are given an opportunity, it's important to push yourself to give all that you can give. And to give your full self. I think that sometimes as young professionals, we might feel like we don't have much to say, but what we have to say is important. And I think that as we let our voice be heard more and more, people do listen and they do recognize and they do take into consideration what we have to say. I think I would just like to say thank you. I think it was the REAP cohort, the REAP program was a really good experience. So even with those within the organization that I'm at, it was just a lot of positivity, a lot of mentorship, a lot of advice and guidance that I thought was very helpful as a young professional. And within the REAP cohort, I think that we're a pretty solid group of young people, and I was even inspired by them, inspired by their ideas, their energy, their passion for the sector. Yeah.
You've just listened to Pathways, a feature from Power Through Partnership, the TopSec program's legacy magazine. Check out other stories like this and more at www.topsec.org. Thanks for listening.